Recording. Lights, cameras, action. You good?
Yeah.
All right. Welcome back to the Real Business Roundtable. We're getting professional here. We got some more stuff on the set. Everything's feeling really good. So last time we were here, we talked about, we kind of hinted on, working with agencies and how to vet them and all that stuff. And we got to be a little bit careful with what we say, but I think
I don't want to piss anybody off.
Yeah,
but friendly competitors. I don't want to shit on anybody. I just want to give small businesses advice and guidance on what to look for when choosing an agency, because there are significant differences between them.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And honestly, like it's very important to understand as a business owner. So we've consulted with a lot of business owners, and sometimes they have really bad experiences. Most of the time when we talk to business owners, they have a lot of objections, and we're going to help you guys, the viewers, the business owners, how to make sure you are not going to f yourself.
So one of the first things I would recommend a small business owner that is realizing that dealing with their digital landscape, their social, their search positioning, their content, all that stuff is sometimes going to be extremely consuming, where it's pulling them away from actually running their business.
Yeah.
Which is why most of the time why agencies exist, is that small business or that company realizes that it's going to cost a fortune to have an in-house team, and they figure, hey, I can get the meat and potatoes done by experts and pros that know what they're doing.
Yeah.
So one of the first things I would look at if you were thinking about not doing things in-house, not doing things yourself, say you're scrambling, oh shit, I forgot that social media post. Oh, I'll get to it tomorrow. And then another week goes by, another week goes by. If you have an agency in place with a team, they're going to be sure to get that done on schedule, on time.
Yeah.
So one of the first things I would look at is, does the agency you're working with have a team? Not just a team. Is it an in-house team, or are they people all around the world? The difference between that, and there's nothing wrong. I'm not saying guys that have virtual teams or girls that have virtual teams are doing it wrong. It's just different. The streamline of communication, the efficacy of communication. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, Zoom and this and that. Well, there's a big difference when a manager at an agency can literally walk out in a work area where the employees are, the staff, your marketing team, walk out in that work area and say, hey, what's going on with this? The deadline is in 3 days, versus let me text that person. Hopefully they respond. Let me email them. Let me call them. Oh, wow. Oh, wait. Oh, they were running an errand. They weren't home or whatnot. Does each team member handle one or two disciplines? Are we talking about content writing? Does that content writer also do graphic design? So rule of thumb is, it's always better, in my professional opinion, is to work with an agency that has a team of experts within each discipline, within each tactic among a strategy when it comes to digital landscape.
Yeah.
That's one of the main things I would recommend looking at.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different things that you're going to want to look for when trying to find an agency, and we're going to go over all those things. But how do you know? So I want to kind of go back to the beginning. So how does a business know when it is a time to start working on advertising? So it changes per business, right? There's never a certain time that you want to start doing advertising, but like we had mentioned before, you want to invest in your company. Now imagine hiring a team of a marketing team from an agency and one person. So when you're hiring, it's going to probably cost the same thing. That's why I'm comparing the two, but you're hiring a team versus one person. And I personally, I may have a little bit of a biased opinion, but hiring a team is going to be a lot more efficient and a lot more productive, and maybe even cost effective when you want to start
absolutely
marketing your company.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
So when do you think would be like, what is the best time to decide, okay, you know what, I want to go and get an agency, to help people understand when it is a good time to do it?
The best time is as soon as you can afford it, as soon as you can get going, because having a proper digital presence is your insurance. Let's say you have a great word of mouth reputation. You got a great product.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I got great word of mouth. building a digital presence is a great insurance policy that if you do run into any hills or valleys, that you'll have a consistent flow of attention constantly on your offering and your business. So the best time I would say is as soon as you can afford it, make that investment and make sure that things are getting done for you while you're focusing on your business itself, running your business. You're treating the agency, almost like it's a separate department that's going to handle all this stuff for you.
Yeah.
It's really when also not just affordability, but it's also when if you feel overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Most entrepreneurs at the very beginning, they're going to try to do this stuff on their own. And, they'll get like an easy Squarespace site.
Yeah.
They'll make a few social media posts. They think they're good. But when you Google what they do in a radius outside of their hometown, you're not really seeing much because the average business owner doesn't know how to do, say, search engine optimization. Another issue to look at is, does your agency not only focus on advertising, but focus on the actual building out the foundation, the equity that's out there digitally?
Yeah.
Are you producing content on a consistent basis? Where are you publishing that content? Are you building citation or are you building your popularity score when it comes to Google? Like, are you getting content published on other sites pointing back to your site? So when you're trying to pick an agency, dig in and find out, hey, do you guys offer search engine optimization? What's your approach?
Yeah.
Some agencies think search engine optimization is just changing a title tag and, changing a few keywords on a website with nothing else.
Yeah.
And it's challenging where someone will put on a proposal the acronym SEO when that could be anything. That's a very broad statement. So what exactly is going on? How aggressive are you going?
Maybe a good episode that we could do would be explaining exactly what a good SEO strategy is without giving too much out there and talking about a good social media strategy and, different aspects. So essentially when you're looking for an agency, there's many things you want to look for, but first off is quality. And quality means a lot of different things. Quality in their graphic design, quality in the photo shoots that they should provide you, quality in the website that they build you, quality and just all over a good quality, something that looks good. If it looks good to you and it looks good to people that work within your company, it's probably going to look good to your customers. And then also consistency and diversity. So make sure that they have a good strategy for you, building a good website that is quality, that looks good. There was another point there that I wanted to bring up. You mentioned it. I can't really think about it right now, but yeah, keep going.
And another thing to look at is when you hire an agency, before you hire them, find out who's going to create the content.
Yep.
Because that might be a surprise. They're building out a new website for you, and then they're like, where's the content? And you're like, what? So you want to make sure that the content plan is in place by that agency, that they understand that you're trying to sell to. What are the buyer personas? What makes them tick? What is going to get them to act?
Yeah.
What's going to facilitate the decision-making process? Yep. So you want to look at, is the agency menu focused? Menu focused is more, hey, sir, here's the list of services, or ma'am, this is the list of services that we provide. Which one do you want? Versus like going to a doctor and they assess the situation and they're like, okay, you need to do this, this, and this. If someone's just like, hey, choose from this menu versus saying, this is what you need to do. The agency that says this is what you need to do is the one that you should lean towards. It's not about what do you want, it's the goal. So you want to work with an agency that's goal focused.
Yes.
Goal focused, not, hey, what can I sell you?
Yeah. So that kind of leads me into the next part. So sometimes when you're in a very, saturated market, let's say real estate, contracting, plumbing, whatever it may be, it's a saturated market. You're going to run into agencies that are going to confront you and talk about, building you a website and all this stuff. Make sure that you're not working. Sometimes this works and it's a cheaper option, but sometimes it's a good place to start. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's not as effective. And what I'm talking about is template websites. They make a website within a week and it's a template. Everyone in their agency is using it. Everyone that their agency works with is using it. One thing is dealerships as well. I see a lot and I'm not going to talk bad about any agency, but a lot of the websites that are being made for you are templates. They take a template, they put your information on it, and they throw it out there. Then your competitor goes and starts working with them. They take the same template, they put their information on it, and they throw it out onto the internet. That's not good for SEO. It's not good for you. It doesn't make you different. It doesn't really help. Having technologies like some a software on the website that a lot of people use. It's different. So let's say you're working with a company, like a business that has a lot of inventory, like a dealership or something like that. Software's on the website, like keeping up with inventory and stuff like that. That's good, but having the same exact website as everyone else is not good. So you want to look to make sure that they're not using templates, that they're making one from scratch. That's it. Like I said before, if you want to use a template one, it's, good to start off with. It's going to be the cheaper option, but you're investing in your company and you want it to grow. You want to reach that goal. So that's the one thing with the website.
You also want to make sure, what my issue with that is the quick turnaround might be attractive, but what happens is it makes the client feel like that's the norm.
See, the thing is that a lot of things within that, that template, like copy paste sort of strategy, is that it is very attractive. Quick turnaround. It's cheaper. It's, easier to maintain. But think about the long term. Think about the long term goal. Do you want the same exact website as everyone else,
or
do you want exactly, or do you want something that's built, curated for you, for your market, for your demographic?
Exactly. And another thing is just it will almost discredit when you say, you tell a client, we're going to do a quality build out, it's going to take a month or two. They're thinking, oh my God, this other company whipped it up in a week. And you have to explain to them that other agency most likely had a pre-made template that was already created.
Yeah.
Another concern is industry-focused agencies. Nothing wrong with them.
No, not at all.
But you want to make sure that industry-focused agency is not giving you what's referred to as canned content. Canned content is very easy to detect. Basically, if you're working with, let's say we had a client that he goes, I'm working with this accounting-only focused ad agency, and it was an insanely low price per month. That's another detector.
And that's okay, but keep going.
So the canned content approach is very bad. It's beneficial to the agency because they can just churn stuff out and make a ton of profit. But if you highlight, let's say you're working with an agency that only works with your industry, highlight one of your blogs, paste it into one of those like copy detector websites, like what is it, Copyscape?
Yeah.
You paste it in there, you can find everywhere that blog article has been published.
Blog articles are very,
and if that's not custom, 100% custom for you, now your content's not really unique. It's not really special. And you're focusing on that really cheap monthly fee and that they're industry focused. When you have a carbon copy website compared to all your competitors, you have the same content. The only really difference is your contact information, maybe your name on there and your logo.
Yeah.
Why, that's one thing. Do you want quality? Do you want to represent your company in its own way? Represent your brand's voice, represent your company and what you stand for. All that stuff should be custom built. So when you're shopping for an agency, do not shop on price. Factor in your mind what it would cost. You find out how many people are on their team. You factor what it would cost you to hire those people in-house. Make sure that their proposal is significantly less so there's a benefit to you, the company, to hire the agency versus hiring in-house. Mm-hmm. That's one of the keys right there. But if something's a couple $100 a month, rule of thumb, it's trash, and you're getting a lot of what other people have. It's all regurgitation. The reason why that's important from a search engine positioning standpoint, duplicate content, the more of it that's out there, saturating the web, it makes your stuff, I guess, less unique, yet less important.
100%.
How Google indexes things, that kind of puts you at a deficit.
Yeah, the next episode we should talk about SEO, because, some people, this is just a side topic, but some people say, SEO is dying, SEO is this. It's not. It's very far from dying.
People will always use Google as a reference.
Yeah, Google is not going anywhere. Yeah, you want to rank on Google.
Yeah. Nobody does a search on social media. I'm sorry, and if you do, it's really unusual. That's not the masses behavior. Yeah. The masses behavior is to use Google as as reference to find something.
Yeah.
Unless a million gazillion people suddenly go, yeah, I'm using Facebook for search.
Yeah, it wouldn't happen.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Yeah. Back to being goal focused. When you hire an agency, just get a feel for if they're talking about the product more or the end goal. If they're
Yes.
talking about, oh yeah, we can run ads, we can do this. For what? Are you at 2 million and you want to hit 5 million in 12 months? Or do you want to do the long approach and stick to a program organically and hit your goal, let's say in 5 years?
Yeah.
The shorter that term, the shorter the window, the higher the budget.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to if you're looking for, and we've worked with a lot of people, well, if you're looking for quick returns, you should expect to spend a lot more money. You're going to hear it's probably for advertising. You're going to want a massive advertising spend. But, when you're going into an agency, you don't want to look for the quick returns. You want to look for consistency because it's going to develop. As long as that agency is doing a good job, then the long term is going to look really good. But we're talking here now to help you understand what a long-term goal looks like, how to make sure that it is going to work. Because as long as you implement these topics that we talk about, take notes.
And we wanted to create this episode to help.
Yes.
We don't want to shit on anybody.
No, we're not. Every agency has their own thing, and a lot of them do work really well, but there are some not so great ones out there who are motivated by just getting that check and getting money, and it's not the best outlook when you're the business owner and you're trying to think of what's best for your business.
Another good thing to keep in mind is, are you dealing with the owners? Did the owners ever talk to you, or are you dealing with simply a sales rep and you never have the owner's ear?
And this is for an agency. If we're talking about a software that you want to use, you're probably not going to talk to the owners. But we're talking about an agency.
We're talking about an ad agency, marketing agency, search engine optimization firm.
You want to feel like they're going to
media,
take care of you.
All that stuff. And another important question that you want to ask is, who is your oldest client?
Mm-hmm.
You ask them, who is your oldest client? Maybe ask to speak to them as a reference.
Yeah, always speak to people as reference.
Because if they have a client that's been with them for over 2 years, that's a good sign that they are doing their job. But if they have a client that's been with them for 10 years, absolutely. Get that person's name and number, have a conversation with them. Say, why did you stick with them so long?
And this is good for someone who's trying to get into, advertising as well. Maybe they're trying to start an agency. So, it's powerful. So I originally started with doing a marketing agency. I was trying to, running ads and doing social media stuff. And one thing that you need to do is you need to have, customers that have had a good experience with you. You need client success stories. And so what I did, this is for people who want to get into this advertising world, was I worked for free for a couple businesses, and I tried my best to make sure that their campaign were successful. And then you will have a good have a good recommendation all the time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just
you always want to go the extra mile. And another thing to consider when you're thinking about going with an agency is you want to figure out in the conversations what is the focus of the conversation.
Yeah.
It has to be, like I said a minute ago, goal focused. What is goal focused? Let's say someone's like, I just want more awareness. I want more people to know about me. But why? Mm-hmm. Because I want more sales. Okay. What are your goals for sales? You got to have conversations like that with your agency to talk about a goal. The goal has to be clear. It can't be, oh yeah, we're just going to do this to do this. Like, there's nothing worse. Like, if we're working with a client, they're like, yeah, I just want a website.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, okay, but it's a very empty goal.
Sometimes that's what people want, though. Occasionally, you'll run into people. Maybe not. It may not be
But that's when they require the education and the consulting.
Yeah.
To teach them about why would you want a better website. You want it to perform. You want it to do something for you. So let's talk about that. The goals. That's what it's about. That has to be the focus of the conversation.
Yeah.
Another thing to look at is, how long have they been in business? Mm-hmm. Have they been through any name changes? Name changes are usually a red flag. If an agency changes their name continuously, I would look into the reason why. Maybe ownership changed. Maybe they got bought out. But, you want to find someone that has never changed their name. You know, that.
Let's just keep it at that.
Yeah, I'll keep it at that. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, what's another one?
Yeah. So when another thing to look at is the team available to communicate? So before you sign that contract with that agency, aside from your account rep, can I speak to my graphic designer? Can I speak to my video producer? Can I speak directly to the owner, the manager? Is the whole team accessible to you?
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes you run into a situation, and every client's different. Some clients like that interaction. They like that feeling that they have a team.
Yeah.
You want to choose an agency that gives you that free, open line of communication to experience that dynamic that you would have with employees.
Yeah.
That's a huge plus with a lot of clients is they oh, wow, I love how I can, speak to the team or physically come to an office and sit down with the team in person.
Yeah.
That is huge.
Yeah.
Virtual teams, yeah, you can get the job done. Is communication ideal? Not all the time, and it's not the same. And I will argue this all day long that face-to-face communication is the best.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's really good. And that kind of leads me to when you're looking for an agency, you want to try to find someone who is, rather local.
Mm-hmm.
When, this can be on both sides, but, for the majority of the time, you want to find someone who's local to you, someone who you can go into their office and you can talk to them. I've heard of agencies who, are at the other side of the country or in another country, and normally that's fine. I heard of some really good relationships in situations like that, and that's awesome. Those agencies are great communication. They get stuff done on a timely manner. That's awesome. But you want to make sure that this leads me into another thing. You want to make sure that they're, local enough where if you need to, you can go into their office. And also. Yep. Also, you want to wait. What were you going to say?
I say, but if they're not local, that they're going to be available by phone and Zoom as much as possible.
It's all about communication.
But it's always ideal to be able to meet someone in person.
Yeah. Another thing too, make sure that they're not outsourcing. So this kind of leads you to what?
No, it's all good. Yeah. I'm like, this outsourcing sometimes works.
Yeah.
But you have.
Oh yeah.
When it comes to continuity and keeping the level of quality, for example, if you're outsourcing a weird, obscure service, like let's say some kind of animation.
Actually, you know what? If they're outsourcing, try to, if they are outsourcing, make sure they have proof of work. Just look at the work that they've done, see how long it takes things to use everything that we already talked about and kind of, find out more about their process, find out the people, because actually now that I'm thinking about it, there are some agencies who do outsource a lot of things and they do a good job, but on the other side, there's agencies who outsource a lot of stuff and it's not good work and there's
there's an issue, and I'm going to try to keep this as PC and as clean as possible.
This is giving me anxiety.
So there are code qualities when it comes to building a website. There are code qualities that differ from different parts and different levels of education in different areas. Quality code, clean code with no glitches and no issues, might be a best practice, say in a certain area. And then you go outside of that area and you notice that, they whipped up a website, but there are some issues. And if you show one school of thought web developer and then you show another school of thought web developer, they're going to butt heads and they're going to go, that sucks. And that guy's going to go, that sucks. That doesn't work. So you got to remember, your agency has, hopefully when you're screening them, you can understand their school of thought, their process. Do they follow best practices? That's very, very important. It's not just about getting the work done, showing the client the work. It's about the quality, the back end. Are they going to stand behind the work? If something breaks, are they going to fix it? If it breaks, are they going to charge me more money to fix it? You got to understand, their intention is to stand behind you regardless of what happens, through thick and thin, through good times and bad times. That's the agency that you want to you want to ask them straight up, if something goes wrong,
Are you going to take care of me?
What are you going to do for me?
Yeah.
If something goes wrong, are you going to be there and fix it?
Yeah.
If you're a good agency, you should be saying yes. You should be doing everything you can in your power to make sure that they got your back.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
But the next thing I wanted to
Yeah.
talk about a little bit is aside from the process and digging in, you also just want to ask them like, hey, who are some of your biggest success stories?
Yeah, of course. And honestly, like the agency should be sharing that from the beginning. They should be.
Yeah,
100%.
and you know, I'll be solicited by not agencies but other companies. You know, they try to do help us with biz dev and stuff like that, and I say, well, give me some examples of some people that you've helped, and I want to talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then one time I spoke to a guy, and he referred to us as a behemoth. He was like, whoa, oh no, I'm just a one-man show. What? And I was like, really? And I found out that that company never really worked with a group as big as us.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we're the biggest. There are agencies way bigger.
Yeah.
But I found out that maybe I'm not a fit for these guys. And I kind of like, you know, I was very careful on my screening. But success stories are very important. The first thing you need to ask is, hey, give me some examples. Let me look at some analytics. Ask the agency to show you some concrete analytics proving that that client, let's say we've had this client for 5 years. Okay, great. Don't just take that face value. Ask them for sample analytics. Say, hey, you can block out the name, whatever. Show me some sample analytics. That will show you a trajectory on the analytics if that person's traffic has increased, both paid, social, organic, referral, direct, all that stuff.
Okay, instead of talking about what you shouldn't look for in an agency, let's talk about, because I kind of want to move past that, because like I said, disclaimer, we're not talking bad about any agency, but let's talk about what the business owner can ask the agency. So essentially, first so I want to talk about like what you as the business owner can ask the agency in order to find out information, in order to vet them, in order to see if they are with you for the long run. So what are some questions? So essentially the first one is, what platforms do you use? Like, what is your strategy? What is your campaign strategy? So if you're talking to a full service ad agency, they should be diversifying on different platforms. They should be, there's a ton of different stuff that they should be doing as far as, like I mentioned before, website, social media, content, the type of writing they have on there, how they get their content. And we already talked about all that stuff, and make sure that a lot of that is curated to you. So one of the first questions regarding all that I just said is, are you using a template or are you creating a website from scratch? What are you using to create that website? Is it a drag and drop, or is it Elementor? Is it WordPress? How are you creating that website?
The audience needs to know that WordPress, whether it's built from scratch or using Elementor, WordPress is number one for website performance. I don't give a shit what
anyone says. It's the best. It's the best for SEO. It's the best for curating your website.
If you have an agency that's using Squarespace, Weebly, Wix, those easy do-it-yourself sites, those websites typically do not perform at the level that a WordPress site that's built for SEO will perform. It doesn't mean those do-it-yourself sites are good for temporary band-aids.
Yeah.
But when you want to get to the big boy level and you want to perform, you need to invest in a quality WordPress website build out. That's very important. Now, another disclaimer. Those do-it-yourself websites, those are great in the beginning. When you're bootstrapping and you don't got the cash to hire an agency, absolutely.
They're amazing. Yeah, they're great.
Wix is awesome.
They're easy to use. They look good normally.
Squarespace looks great. All that stuff. It's seamless.
Webflow's awesome.
But when you want to get to that big boy level, to the next level, and you want to see those leads come in and those calls come in, you got to abide by what performs and what's proven. And that is WordPress, hands down. Now, if Google changes the rules, we'll change the rules.
Yeah.
But sometimes I need to explain that to people like, hey, you got this do-it-yourself website and we have to basically rework it. We got to rebuild it.
So the first question is, if you're getting a website, how do you build a website? Is it a template? Are you building it for me? How are you building the website? What are you using to build the website? And then it goes to like social media strategy. So if they're going to be posting for you, are these photos made for me? Where are they coming from? Do they send out a photographer? Are they just from a stock? Are they just a stock image? You don't really want a stock image. So that's the second one on social media. Graphic design. Are they do they have graphic designers? Are they creating it themselves? Are they going to help you with your theme, with the way you look? That's another one. And then what are some more questions that they can ask?
Well, when it comes to the like actual strategy behind the engineering behind the performance, it should be, how do you drive engagement?
That's a good one too. Yes, that's a good one.
Ask your agency that. Hey, what's your content strategy on driving engagement? Their answer should be, oh, hey, great question. So when it comes to direct response, I'm going to highlight a need or a want in your headline. I'm going to inform them about what you do. Then I'm going to ask them to take action.
Are you talking about for advertising or for social media?
Either or.
Yeah.
If you want someone to react, it's referred to as direct response.
Yeah.
A mortgage company showing somebody like opening the keys to their new home.
Yeah.
It doesn't say, hey, tired of not having a house? No. That's direct response.
Yeah.
So you got direct response advertising, and then you have brand-driven advertising that's more emotional. You want to ask them, what approach are you going to take for me?
Yeah.
That's
for advertising. For social media, I kind of mentioned before, make sure they're not stock photos. Also make sure that they're diversifying their posting. You want a variety of platforms, and you want the same content, or normally you want
you want a variety of content. So you want, for social media, you want just a flow. You want
a consistency. Yes, I was just going to say
something about the industry. Yes. Something about the company internally.
You want it to be informational.
Maybe you just hired someone. Show a cool photo of them. Proper hashtags. So like something about the company. Something about maybe your offering. The biggest mistake I see with social media, and when you're vetting your agency, make sure you tell them or ask them, I don't want every social media post to be a sales pitch.
Exactly. So I was just going to say that you don't want, so you want diversity, but you also want to stay consistent. So you want a post from everywhere, from every single day to, twice a week. You want to stay consistent no matter when you do it, but make sure that it's not always like a new car sold or a new house sold, or you want it to be consistent but diverse. So you could put a lot of really good ones are educational. Teach them. That creates, it makes you see it makes you look like you know what you're talking about, which you should if you're in that business.
I could take any industry right now. Like let's say like steel. I'll say just a boring business, a company that sells steel in both raw form, more of a conditioned form, whether it's framing or whatever for steel buildings. Your social media post should be like this, talking about, alloy strength, different blends of steel mixed with different metals that will perform. That should be one social media post. Style. Then the next social media post should talk about a project that you've just finished. Then the next social media post should be about someone you just hired. Mm-hmm. Next social media post should talk about your credit offerings. So, for example, if a small business owner purchases steel, hey, we're offering financing or lines of credit to small business owners that need to buy steel from us.
Yeah.
But there needs to be a flow, and you can have one or two here and there salesy posts. But what I see a big mistake that organizations make when they're trying to do social media on their own is it's always, come on down, we're having a sale, buy this, buy. People are just going to tune out your page.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that the ad agency you're working with understands that variety is critical to keep people's attention.
So when you're talking to the agency as far as social media, I already told you about the first couple questions to ask. The other questions you need to ask, that's regarding to what you were just saying, is how many different styles of content are you going to be posting on social media? So there should be at least 3 to 4 different styles. There should be at least 3 different styles. So what I mean by styles is informational, educational, just made a deal, new hire, something like that, or like along the lines of that.
Yeah, talk about the progress of your company, talk about a new client, talk about something, but just keep it fresh and keep it in that variety format. Another thing is multimedia. Don't just post photos. Create some kind of cool infographic. Video content.
Video is very important as well. Yeah.
Just short form social media post video. That's huge. And if your agency is going to charge you a fortune for it, and you clear this up with them before you hire them. Yeah. Say, hey, if I want to create short form video, are you going to help me with this? And how much will that cost?
Yeah.
You don't want to engage an agency at a bare minimum level and then find out, oh my God, these guys are charging me to just, if I sneeze the wrong way, they're sending me a bill. You got to be prepared for that.
Yeah.
Because you're already in this relationship.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure, like, multimedia, how are they going to handle creating that for you? If there's an extra fee, what is it?
Yeah.
Hash that
that's
out
also
in the
another
beginning.
thing. Make sure there's not a bunch of hidden fees in the contract. Find out how long the term is, all that sort of stuff. But so we're I don't want to drag out too much, but so essentially what we talked about was, find out about the business, how long they've been in business for, client success stories. Then, like the stuff that we just talked about with the website, with the social media, with the advertising, make sure that they have, that's another, group of questions that you should ask in order to find out if they're going to be a good fit for you. So it's a business, find out about their content strategy, about the website.
Who's their oldest client,
stuff like that.
And then also you want to make sure that they understand buyer personas. Just throw it out there. When you're speaking to the guy that's trying to sell you, say, how do you guys handle buyer persona focused advertising or content? And they should know what a buyer persona is. It's the different groups that you can sell to.
Yeah.
The one last thing that you want to ask your agency that you're trying to vet, what makes you unique? What do you have that the other guys don't have? What is the level that your staff is delivering at? Are we talking about super high-end specialists? Or are we talking about newbies? Also, the technology. What technology do you have in place that I won't find at your competitors?
Yeah.
Are you guys using AI?
So what makes you different? What makes you unique?
That's the key right there. So learn what makes that agency unique. And I'm telling you, you'll learn a lot very quick when, say, you're vetting out 2, 3, 4 different agencies. That piece right there will help you make your decision. Above and beyond all of this is what do you have that my competitor can't get access to? And hopefully all of these items will help people at home and all the business owners out there, the entrepreneurs that are thinking about, hiring an ad agency to take things to the next level.
Yeah.
Ask those questions. Hopefully this helped everybody.
Yeah, I really do. And I also just want to add in real quick. I said it before. There's a disclaimer. We're not talking bad about everyone and anyone. We're not talking bad about anyone. We're just trying to help people understand how to find the agency that is going to work best with them, for a long-term goal that's going to help them reach the next level. It's really exciting. It's really exciting stuff when you start working with people to really help you take you to the next level, because if they do a really good job, then it's going to feel amazing and your business is going to grow. But we're getting, a time.
Yeah, let's wrap up.
Yeah, so like we always say, thank you so much for watching. We're going to be posting more and more every single week. This week, actually a couple weeks, or last week or the week before, we were able to get some more out there, and we feel really good about the content that we're putting out. Please like, comment, subscribe. Show us, if you have any comments you would like us to talk about, or if you just anything, just, let us know in the comments below, in the Instagram comments.
Shoot us a DM,
whatever it is. We love to hear from our supporters, from our viewers. But like I say, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, show your support, because we really do appreciate it.
Awesome.
Peace out.